Hello my lovelies, so this is Lizzie from Love from Lizzie and we are live today. Today we're going to be taking on doing a one sheet wonder with a 6x6 piece of pattern paper. Last week we did a fun fold with the same paper pad and it was this. We did have a little bit of an issue with connection but Liam has spent an awful long time this week trying to make sure that we don't have that same issue. We have tried also to work with the audio, so you have to let me know if I'm clear enough or if I'm too quiet. Please let me know. We've got some of our favourite lovelies here joined us already. Lovely to see you all. We've got Shelley, Jana, Gloria, Leslie and Bev. Hello, it's been a while. New faces and some that we haven't seen for a while. Yes, so one sheet wonder, for those of you that are not familiar, just in case, it is often done with a 12x12 piece of pattern paper. But I'm doing it with a 6x6 piece, and as you can see here, Liam with his fancy screen work, I've put measurements in, and this particular one is going to make 4. So all you do is you can print that out and you can lay it over the top of your pattern paper and then just cut it out and do it each time, or you can write them, draw the measurements out on your pattern paper, which is what I have done this time. And then it's just a way to get you using some of those really pretty papers. And this particular set that I'm about to make, I think is going to make a really lovely gift set. 4 cards that all coordinate, that are all sort of just because friendship cards. So we're going to give that a go. But let's get going. We are going to need some pretty basic supplies, a piece of pattern paper. I've got some peel-offs, of course. I'm going to use my guillotine and my Misty. I've got some Copic markers, but I have done quite a bit of prep ahead of time, just because watching me fight with my die cutter with my shoulder has proved to be somewhat of a joke. I don't like making a joke of myself, so. Right, we're going to dig in. Pattern paper, I've already marked it all out. I should have done it perhaps in pen. This is the reverse side. I wanted to use the daisies. When you're using a one sheet wonder, having a really nice busy pattern or a very colourful or a very busy one is great, because if you use a more muted tone such as this one, because it's the hero of the card and it's only a small portion, you want something that's really quite striking. So on the reverse I have marked all of the pencil lines out. I haven't written the measurements on here because I'm just going to be chopping this up, but we are going to do a blog post to share the exact dimensions so that you can do this yourself. And what I've also done is I've got a regular sheet of white cardstock and I have measured out these bits. So it will all come to light obviously as we go, but we've got piece number 1, 2, 3 and 4, which coordinate with cards 1, 2, 3 and 4. Oh, we've got Lisa as well. Hi Pam. Hello Cheryl. Oh, I've got loads of lovelies. How are we all? So this is going to be the background. This is going to be the main part. I have also got an extra sheet of white, but I'm going to trim that down to create inserts, because I'm going to use this really lovely navy, that I've got covered in bits of paper, really lovely navy for card bases. So I've got 2 sheets to make my 4 cards. I have got the white for the insert, and we're going to start now. I'm going to stop talking about it and we're going to get on with it, and we're going to have some fun whether we like it or not. So I've got my little tiny trimmer and I'm just going to start chopping. Now there is a waste bit and I put this in the wrong spot. On my graphic I have the waste bit up at the top, but it doesn't matter. And you can cut these in any which order that you like. The only thing that I would suggest is for cards that have got multiple numbers, so like number 2 for example and number 1, try to keep them in the order that they're sitting, simply because then when you put them on the card front, the pattern continues. It's not imperative. It's not, you know, it's not necessary. It's just that I prefer that look. So, right, we are going to start doing some cutting. So I'm cutting off card number 4. Try not to take my finger with it as it goes. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? And then I'm going to snip off this tiny little waist piece. Now, of course, if you want to use that elsewhere and be super frugal, save that for later. But right, that's card number 4, and that one is ready. So that can go there. And then you can also check this because number 1 is 1.5 inches, so you can also go by, you don't have to draw it out at all if you don't want to. It is a preference thing for me, and it also makes it visually more accessible. I'm going to leave these ones attached because I want them to stay in the correct order, and so until I come to make them, I'm going to leave them all together. And then we've got the number, splitting up number 2 and 3. Okay, so card number 3 and card number 4 are both ready to go. I'm going to move that out of the way. Having said, I'm going to keep it there. Margot, oh, what did you get for Mother's Day? What was your gift? How are you all? And Pam, Mother's Day gift was 2-year-old visit to the ER. Oh, that's awful. Is she okay? How? That's not what we want to hear. My Mother's Day consisted of deciding that we were all going to go for a lovely long walk, and then my weather fanatic little piggy telling me, oh, covered in hair, that we were due a really big storm, so we didn't go. We just went to the local place. There's the river quite near to our house, so we just dropped down there. We were going to go for a bit of a fancy walk, but then decided not to, and then it didn't rain at all. So, no, we had a very peaceful. Of course, I feel a little bit like the Queen now because I get 2. I get to have Mother's Day when the English mothers enjoy it, and I get to have Mother's Day when the Canadian mothers enjoy it. So I feel very privileged. Right, I'm going to keep those on top of each other now because they are top to bottom and they're all the right way up. These ones are a little bit easier because they are different shapes, but these could get twisted and all sorts. So we're just going to move those there and hope for the best. Now, this one, I'm going to use my bigger chopper on, which is not quite so, of using a guillotine and wasting. Of course you can't see because my face is in the way. I will move. Here we go. Usually I wouldn't dream of chopping all the way across and wasting this piece of card here, but for the purposes of live, and so that we're not faffing, I'm going to be brutal and just chop all the way along. So for those of you that are precious with your cardstock, like me, look away. Got her foot stuck in a blanket and fell into, oh no. Oh, I hope she got spoilt with lots of hugs and kisses. My little pig had some absolute clangers when he was little, and it was almost always when he was at nursery. So it was often, because I didn't start Love from Lizi until he was 2. So the majority of his accidents happened before he was 2. And they, as I say, were at nursery. And he had some shocking ones. Split his lip open and he had stitches and he kept pulling it out, and they don't make it easy for us, do they, these little people? Okay, so this is number 3, the backer. So it'll all start making sense to you shortly. I've got rid of the big chopper now because it's not as easy on the desk. And today I treated myself to a sit-down craft. The last couple of videos, because there's been so much hopping about, I've had to be standing, but I do actually prefer to sit down crafting. Does anybody else have a preference between standing and sitting? Or am I just a weirdo? The audio is breaking up here. Oh no! Right. I will make sure my hair's not all over my microphone because I'm sure that won't do it any favours. Okay, so that's number 2 and that's number 1. Right. We've chopped down all of our pieces now. And in fact, I'm going to chop my card bases. So this is a little bit like factory. Oh, sugar. Oh, good job I opted for sugar there, wasn't it? The joy of a live video. Right, we're going to pop that down. And then I am going to do my favourite, which is a top fold. And it's just because I like it. It photographs well. And I think it's just a little bit different. It looks nicer on the mantelpiece as well. So 5.5 by 4.25. So there are the card bases all ready to be. Oh no, I've knocked my number ones. Knocked my card number 1. Okay. They are good. I'm going to chop the inserts. So of course, these are going to be 5.5 by 4.25 cards. So I'm going to chop them all to 5.5 by 4.25. I will double check my wire. That's a really good shout. In case it's just going into the pack. The mic is fully charged, Lisa. We charge them for hours beforehand. But all of these suggestions, keep them coming because you guys may think of something that we have not. So I am chopping at 5.5, then at 4.25. So this is now the correct size for the inside of my card. I'm going to take off 1/4 inch all the way around so that there is a slight border. So these are now going to become 4 inches by 5.25. I could have done that all in the first instance, to be fair, but my brain wasn't really. And Liam's going to type quick. Right. Looks like new microphones are going to be ordered for next week. Okay. Just going to repair the microphone. If anyone can start hearing me. I'm having a head shaking at me. Okay. Okay. For now, I am going to score my card bases down. Okay. I like to use a Teflon bone folder. Again, not new information. I've probably been using a Teflon bone folder since before I had Love from Lizi. They slide. It's so much kinder. Okay, right. So card base 1. Card base 2. Card base 3. What's going to happen is it's going to look like a right hot mess on my desk. And then all of a sudden we're going to have 4 cards. So let's lose that. Could do with a bigger craft desk really, and a bigger craft room. But I suppose that's something that everyone suffers with, isn't it? Right. 4 card bases, 4 inserts. So I'm going to stick the inserts in so that they're done. And then we can start playing with the fronts. Just using a tape. This is a permanent tape runner, so it's one of those ones that once you put it down, it's there forever. One card base. And I'm terrible for decorating the insides of my cards. So the fact that I remembered that I was making navy cards, but I suppose it's, you can't really give a gift of cards that people can't use. Okay. Now we're going on to number 3. Oh, Liam, he's sitting here flapping away. He's really trying to make everything everything good while I sit here and play with paper and tape. I think someone got the short end of the stick in this agreement here with doing live videos. Because I just get to keep playing. Right. We are very nearly there. There we go. Right. 4 cards with inserts. That is a big day. Okay. I'm going to pop these to one side. They're not going anywhere. Is it because I'm in the UK? Oh, I hope not. Quite like the UK. Right. I'm going to move these out of the way and I'm going to start matting up so that everything's together. Now, I'm just going to bring these up again just so that people can freeze the video if they want to, in case they're copying. Now, what you can do is you can stick it straight on. It's going to cover that, but I'm going to turn it over anyway because there is pencil lines and I don't want pencil lines. And I'm not going to be messing about with a eraser. Now, so, as you can see, super sticky. If you line it up at the bottom, you know that you're going to be square. So, I've said that and we all know that I won't be now. That's like testing fate, isn't it? Okay. Eek. Close enough. That would do. Right. Okay. So now my datas have got a super, super tiny little white border around the edge. So that was card number 4, which I can still see on the back. Card number 3, another super simple one. I'm going to turn this over because it's got all the pencil lines on it, and again going to pop this in the middle. Doesn't look like I did a very good job with that, so I'm just going to trim the side off. It's probably more my cutting than my measuring. My measurements were all spot on. So okay, so this is card number 3 that's now got its piece ready. Now, card number 2. I'm going to turn it over. Of course, I've knocked them, haven't I? Exactly what I said I didn't want to do. And I've done it, but there we go. It's okay. It wasn't difficult because there were only 3 of them. So, this is how this one's going to look. So, a little bit like shutters. And spacing them can be quite tricky. Middle one gets stuck first, so we'll move these 2 to the side. If you get the middle one in the middle, then the other 2, and there's lots of ways you can do this. You can draw with a ruler, you can use the lines on your grid mat to find the centre point. But if I pop that there, these 2 lines here and here are the middle. I know that I've got to come up a little from that. So if this is in the middle of here, I am a by eye kind of gal, which probably makes it quite difficult when I'm asking people to follow and craft along with me. Sorry about that. But yeah, so I've popped that one in. Now this one goes here and this one goes here. And now I get to put this in a line with that, but I get to do it by eye. Make sense? So that there's even spaces there, and then I get to do the same with this one. I'm just going to flip that round so I know which way I need. Oh, I need to keep it, and do the same again. Line up this line here, equal the space at the top and the bottom. There we go. So now I have panel number 2. All done. Okay, card number 2. Card number 1. Now this is going to be the one I'm going to make a mess with. So I'm trying. Okay. Card number 1. 4 pieces which I kept in order. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. It works for these ways. If you prefer it to go the other way, it's up to you. But this is how these are all going to sit. Isn't it pretty? Right, so I'm going to move these to here. Turn it over because of the pencil marks. I'm going to start with the top corner. Now, different people, again, different methods to dry fit. Gosh, throwing them around now. So I'm going to lay these in their prospective homes, just so that, because with this card it was easy, you find the middle, but when you've got 4 pieces to consider and you want it to have that kind of window look, let's also make it easier and keep my fat fingers out of the way. I think about there. And then once you've got one in, you can sort of line up from the others. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but knowing which way up is always helps. It's super tacky. Right, so trying to keep the gaps consistent at the top and at the sides, and the lines straight to one another. Makes a really big difference. So this is a one sheet wonder, but it is a little bit of a cheat because I did add some white to mount everything up on. You can also, of course, if you're wanting to keep the weight down, if you're thinking about posting these, use your peel-offs. If you use your straight peel-offs instead of white, you know, as borders on everything, that would also work very well. And I would love to do a video with that. However, I don't know that it would move along in the way that this one has managed to. And not every video has to be about peel-offs. Okay, so we've got card number 1. We've got card number 2. We've got card number 3. We've got card number 4. Ta-da! Feeling very proud of myself. Now, I'm going to go like that, unless anyone disagrees with me. If people think that I should be placing these in a different spot, then speak up, because I am just going to put them where I think I like the look of them. And I think that one's going to go there. So that is what those cards are going to look like. And I am going to stick them all flat. Yes, I'm going to do it now. I'll stick it all down. Oh, go off the edge of the mat. That's why my mat looks so filthy. So, again, you can measure, or you can just pop them down where where your eye feels most happy. But and the thing is that's really nice, because I've used cardstock behind the daisies, they're really sturdy, these and because they've got the cardstock in there, you know, when a card feels really weighty, and it's it will be a lovely gift to give to someone. Oh, I've gone off the edge of my mat again, honestly. It's a good job I've got the mat, really, isn't it? So, which size of paper was the pattern paper? It was 6 by 6. This was from the Spot of Autumn. The same paper as this one. This is what's this is the pack's looking a little bit sad now, but it is it's got lots of lovely autumnal and masculine themes papers in it, but I picked out a flowery one. Okay, so here we go. They are now all stuck down, and I did go to the liberty. I feel like I was on Blue Peter being able to say this. Does Blue Peter translate? Does everyone know that? And yes, Pam, yeah, you would have got that in your bundle. So I have picked out a selection of peel-offs, of course, and these are all in golds, yellows and whites, because I like to pick out the colours that are inside. I have picked out the Bold and the Beautiful stamp set. Now, this is going to look like a bit of a hot mess, so bear with me. The waste card that you saw me chopping away merrily, that goes around the layers, I have die cut the doilies. These are our dainty doily dies, and this is our flower pot die, and you can fit those onto the waist from around the layers. I just wanted to do this beforehand so that you weren't watching me and my shoulder cry. So I now have got 4 different doilies, which I can use to stamp a sentiment. And I've also got these super cute. Now, I think strictly speaking, the flower in the pot is a sunflower. But because we're all creative and we like to push the buttons, push the boat out, as my mum would say, or push out the boat. I have coloured these. Now I use Copic markers, but you can use anything. You can use coloured pencils, you could use felt tips, whatever you have on hand. Now once you've die cut something, it can be a bit fiddly to colour it, so I did leave one. Now, the way to colour a fiddly die cut. Masking tape or low tack tape, washi tape, anything like that on the back of the negative. Pop your die cut back in, or hold it nice and still because you've taped it down. So now, and I do have to double end cap, ask me why. I recently absolutely destroyed a picture that I was doing because the pen bubbled out on me. So then I go around with the brush end, and I don't have to worry about going over the lines. Just fill it in. Now, I'm not going to put the pens away just yet. The way that I picked my pens, also, I should note, is from the pattern paper. I have a Sandy Elnock hex chart that I got many, many moons ago, but it's fabulous because you fill it in, and then you hold the colours of your pattern paper up to it, and you can see which colour you need to be able to match. So this yellow matches the inside of the daisies really well, and the colour that I've used for the pots is it's the same colours as the tiny flowers. Now, of course, again, a little bit of creative license, but it's not too far off of the colour of a plant pot, I didn't think, so it works. Get away with it. Okay, now that I've very carefully shown you to do this, we now have got 4 coloured little pots. But because I'm a little bit finicky, I'm going to put you onto the close-up camera and I'm going to show you, particularly, you can see it on the edge of the pot. They're these white bits. When you colour, you need to have the edges done as well. So I don't use my beautiful brush tip. I use the bullet end because this end won't get so scratched. And then I just run along the edge. Get rid of that white. This is not something exclusive to me. I have watched a million other people do this, but it is such a simple little tip, and it makes all the difference when you're colouring something in like a die cut. And I don't often colour die cuts, to be honest. Don't need to do the yellow because that's all in the middle, but I will do the green. And again, just running around the edge. And if you can sometimes be a little bit clumsy, hold the pen behind your image, because then if your pen slips and it slips on the back of something else, doesn't matter. But if that slipped on the front, we'd have to be very creative with our sequin placement or our peel off placement, wouldn't we? And that can be frustrating. So just going around, covering over those white edges. Here we go. And now that's all nicely coloured all around the way. And just in case you were considering recreating, this is Y19, E08 and YG67. Okay. So we've got our little daisies, or mock-up daisies that were sunflowers. And now I've got my 4 doilies. I'm going to grab my Misty. And I'm going to stamp a sentiment. So the Bold and the Beautiful stamp set has got this really sweet little round stamp, which I thought was ideal. So another way to check to see if stamps are going to fit where you want them while they're still on the backing sheet, hold them over. And this was how I double checked to see that this stamp was perfect for all of our doilies. So, the lovely thing is, it doesn't matter if I get the stamp crooked or not, because I can just turn the doily. But I will need to reposition the stamp each time because the doilies are slightly different in size. Pop my magnet down, and that is tucked right into that bottom corner, just in case the doily gets stuck to my, for example, in case it gets stuck. So now I can just push it in, both down and to the right, remagnet it. And I've picked a navy ink. Any ink works, but I've picked navy to go along with and this is the Paris Dusk. We have got some of the pigment ones. This is a dye ink. And because this is quite a detailed and sentiment heavy, I wanted to have a dye ink because pigment ink can sometimes not be quite so crisp. Okay, that's pushed right over into the corner. And the thing with stamping, particularly a delicate one, is you don't slam it. You don't want to give it a really hard press because you want it to kiss, you want it to sit, and you need to let it touch. Oh, flower pot is so cute. She's so dinky, isn't she? It's just like a tiny little die, and it's the sort of thing that you can overlook, but the amount of things you can do with these really pretty little dies. So there we go, and that only required one go. Isn't that pretty? Side by side or miles apart, friends will always be connected by the heart. So, number 1. Okay. I'm so distracted by my goodies, so I missed which kits these stamps came from. Okay, so this stamp set, the Bold and the Beautiful, was the Bold and the Beautiful kit. I try my very best to name the stamps from the same as what the kit was, just so that they're easy to locate again. Is this your Mother's Day gift you're speaking about, Margot? Is that what you're being distracted by? Okay. Because I need to reposition the stamp, I don't want to close it and check, because there might still be some ink on it. So, peel it off, having given it a wipe. Got it tucked into the corner again. So yes, I could have done this bit ahead of time as well, but it's nice to show you that I don't always get it perfect. We are all human, and it's fun. It's all part of it. I like stars and astronomy type stamps as well. Pam, the hero of this stamp set, without a doubt, is good friends are like stars. You don't always see them, but they're there. I adore that sentiment. It is, yeah, it's on point, especially when you emigrate and put a great big Atlantic Ocean between you and the majority of your mates. So, number 2, we're getting there. Sorry, ladies and gents, we won't be too much longer. Give it another wipe, make sure I don't okay. Oh, personalised melanista. I can't read and speak at the same time. Sorry, everyone. Getting to know my secrets now. With a purse with a matching wallet and pastries. Oh, lovely. Are these your Mother's Day goodies that have just turned up? Right. Number 3. Here we go. Number 3. And then last but not least, and I do really like all of these doilies. I think you could make a really good card using just the 4 doilies, creating a background pattern. Not quite in the right spot. We probably could have got away with leaving them in the right place, but if I'm going to give this as a gift, I want to make sure that they look as best I can make them. Okay. I am going to attempt 10 cards in 20 minutes again soon. I do feel like that challenge needs to be satisfied. I don't enjoy the feeling of defeat. I have to close this up here because it's so dry. In the UK, I could have left the lid off for 6 weeks and it wouldn't have made a blind bit of difference because the rain would have reabsorbed into it. Right. So popping my stamp back because I don't want to lose it. Okay, so here we go, ladies and gents. We have now got toppers and flowers. And I think this is how it's going to happen. I think the flower's going to get attached. Now they can of course go over the top of the paper, but I do much prefer it just off the side. So I'm going to put some adhesive and I'm going to use a wet glue just so that I get a little bit of play, but I'm going to adhere them behind the flowers, the petal and the pot, so that these are stuck to my doily, and then I can, as a unit, mount them. Like that. And then, haven't drank my coffee, I've had so much fun, not had the opportunity. A really handy size. Gave myself the most astronomical paper cut from this the other day. It was really lethal, really deep. I love the little doilies. Is that from the set on your website? I think it's in my wish list. Yes, it is. They sold out super quick when we listed them, so we have relisted them. And they are lovely. Really, really nice, pretty. Oh, I've used them for a few things now. And I think, yeah, I think they're just versatile. Now, so I'm popping some tape behind. Oh, Liam manages to drink his coffee okay. He's rubbing it in. Now I've just lost that piece of tape. You've probably all seen where it pinged off to. I'm sure it will show up. Or it's stuck to my hair or something. Okay, and then a little bit. Leslie has those. Yeah, they're brilliant, Leslie, aren't they? Really nice little dies that work for everything. So I'm just popping a little bit of tape just to support these outer edges as well. Pop that one there. And then take off the tape. And I've also put the tape across both the doily and the flower at the back a little bit, just to give it a bit more stability. What did everybody do for National Scrapbooking Day? Nearly got that wrong then. Now, I'm going to go this side, I think. Yeah. So, there's that. And on this one, I'm going to add a few pearls. Just these are our different sized pearls. Just to add a little bit of something. I'm going to add a big one towards the bottom. I'm going to add a medium one, not too far above it. And then I'll add a small one over here. So just a little card. Okay, that one done. Calling her done. Okay, next one. Slight overhang here after I had scored it. So you turn it over to the back. You use the edge of the card here to lean your blade on with your scissor, and then that way you will get the perfect snip, and you won't have it too short or hanging over or any other such nonsense. So this one, I feel like I'm going to stick that one up there, and I'm going to have my little flower pot down here, but I am going to lift them both up. So tape behind you. Go there, and then I could just stick the little flower pot flat actually. I think that would work just as well on this one. So I'm going to pop a little bit of wet glue behind her, and that was brave of me doing that on the card base, and also probably quite silly. All my dirty little habits that I'd get away with usually because I'm not live coming out for everyone. Liam's obviously not got enough to do if he's got time to Google. Shall we create some work for him? I think after the sound disappearing, we'll leave him to Google. Right, so they're on there, and I want to use peel-offs on this one. And I think I'm going to use a gold moon dust with gold finish. And I'm just going to use the middle size, and I'm just going to run that one up the edge. Just on this one side. You could do it on both if you like to be balanced, but I am a bit wonky, so I'm happy with that. It wouldn't take me, oh, you know what, I will. I will finish properly. That can go in there. Just tuck it down behind. It just goes to show that you don't have to have have your mind made up beforehand. Now to butt them up, cut the end off. When it's got a gold finish, that gold finish is visible. So now I can tuck this one in and behind. Make sure you get it behind all the little cutouts as well, not just the edge. And then take another one. Snip off the top because it's got that little gold line. We don't want it to be obvious that we're butting them together. Push them in to the bottom. There we go. And you can, because we've got it in our hands, just run a single one on there, just to match the inside to the outside. I think we're going to call that one done. I think that one's very pretty. Right, so that's 2 done. This one I am going to pop up the doily, and then I'm going to, right in the middle of all the flowers. Oh, there it is. I knew it'd turn up. Inside of the jumper, who'd have thought? Right. Okay. In your sleeve. Oh, Sarah, you knew it and I didn't. Liam just pointed it out to me. Well done, thank you. I should pay more attention. Okay, so I'm popping that there and I'm going to put my little flower on the inside. Now, just made this very tricky for myself. A little blending brush with my ink pad, just so that I can create something, yeah, of a smudge behind where the flower top is going to sit. Doesn't look particularly fetching like that, but once the flower gets stuck on it, it will just help lift the blooms. And of course I've made my finger blue now to checking my blending brush, but okay. Oops, it's alive. So now I have my little daisy on the inside. Linda says there's no buffering since you got here. We're winning. Wonderful. It's a shame that that's a benchmark, but you know, we'll take it. Right, I'm going to use my little mini flowers, mini hearts with gold finish. And I'm going to use the three of the medium sized. Just down here. None of this is necessary. This is just that I like to play and fancy up things, because there are obviously tons of really beautiful layouts and sketches available, and it's these sort of little bits and pieces that just make it that little bit more personal. So there we go. We've now got card number 3 and card number 4. I feel like, how are we going to do this one? I quite like it like that. I think we're going to go with that, but I'm going to pop her up. You need mini flowers and snowflakes in the peel-offs. That's a lovely idea. I'll have a ponder on that, Leslie. Thank you very much. Look, there's the bit from my sleeve. Waste not, want not. So, Are we all impressed? I've nearly finished 4 cards in just under about an hour. In just about an hour. That is pretty impressive, I think. Oh, 45 minutes. Oh no, not 45 minutes. 50 minutes. I don't think that's too terrible at all, actually, because especially with how much I've chatted. Right. I'm going to pop a little bit of card behind my little sunflower pot there, because there's it will get bent because I've gone over. Should have done this beforehand, people. Do as I do, not do as I say, not as I do, I think is the turn of phrase, isn't it? I'm just popping this so that the pot isn't on the wonk, because there's the layers of the cardstock and the paper there. So I'm just sneaking that behind. Let's pretend I did that properly when one is supposed to do it at the beginning. It just means that the flower pot and the stem isn't going to be dropping down. We don't want a saggy stem. Now, I think, what do I want to put on this one? Oh, decisions. I think I'm just going to run a couple of peel-offs on the inside on this one. I'm going to use the widest of the pins at the bottom. And then I'm going to use the narrowest directly above it. Okay, we are nearly there. Oh, joining late from Edmonton. I'm coming to Edmonton next week for the Scrapbook and Cards Carnival. I'm very much looking forward to it. Not so much looking forward to the drive. I'm still not quite accustomed to driving here, but I'll get there, and doing journeys like this. Okay. Oh my goodness, look at this. Is everybody proud of me? Because I'm proud of me. We've made 4 cards. So, grid with a little pot in the corner, and I popped a couple of, these are gold mirror pins inside, just as a little finishing touch. You could obviously also put gems on the outside. You've got the mini stars, hearts. There's lots of things that you could go with. This one with a peel off on the inside and a couple down the outside, and they're the same from the same sheet, so that matches in nicely. I love the little white hearts with the gold finish. I think they're super cute. And we popped our flower on the inside there with a little bit of ink blending, and then we use some of our mini pearls on this one, leaving the whole of the inside of the card for a nice long letter. So there we go. 4 little cards made from a one sheet wonder. We will create a blog post so that you can get all the measurements, and if you want to give this a go yourselves, that would be great. I will do another one sheet wonder video. I've been trying to come up with ideas for what to do, and I think we're going to be doing a fancy fold once a month. I think that's fun. We obviously will be doing our layout challenge, and you have still got, what's the date today? 13th. So you've got until the 18th to upload any of your cards onto the layout challenge, and you can win. You win store credit to the effect of a kit. So it's definitely worth playing. Get your craft stuff out. It doesn't have to be Love from Lizzie. You don't have to use the background builder die. If you do, you get extra points. So lovely, everyone wins, and it gives everyone inspiration as well. So I think getting us actually doing these lives has done me the world of good, because it means every week, whether I like it or not, I'm going to be sitting and baking. So it's certainly helped my headspace. I hope you guys all enjoy it as well, and it's really nice having a little chat with you. I hope that if anyone does manage to make any of the cards from this one sheet wonder, you share it in our Facebook group. I absolutely love seeing it when people start sharing in there. So please join us over there. Thank you everyone for chatting as well. I've really enjoyed having a little catch up with some people that I haven't seen for ages. So that's been really nice. And next week we will be having, it will be just after release day. We have release on Monday. We started sneak peeking last night. We've got another one to go in very shortly. And we've got the Instagram hop. We've got so many lovely things. So anything that you can join in for, please do. We love all of the fun interaction. And yes, we will be back on Monday with release, and then we'll be back here again, same time, same place, on Tuesday. And until then, make something beautiful. Bye.